Welcome back. British police say a car explosion that killed one person in the city of Liverpool was a terrorist incident. 4 men have been arrested under the Terrorism Act.
Given how it has happened and out of caution, counter-terrorism police are leading the investigation, supported by Merseyside police.
The blast shook a women's hospital in the northwestern English city shortly after a taxi pulled up at the building. Police believe the only passenger in the taxi had an improvised explosive device, which exploded and killed him. The driver was discharged from hospital after being treated for injuries. About 2 million people in Austria who have not been fully vaccinated against COVID have been placed in lockdown. Those above 12 who are not double jabbed can only leave home for work or school. They are barred from non-essential businesses and face stiff fines if don't comply. Chancellor Alexander Schallenberg said the move, which will last 10 days, is aimed at boosting the vaccination rate as infections climb across Europe. Vienna is also considering a nighttime curfew for everyone. Poland and the Baltic states are on the verge of asking NATO to help resolve a deepening migrant crisis along their frontiers. Relief groups have stepped in to assist the migrants as governments blame each other for the humanitarian emergency. Sarah Wong reports.
A humanitarian crisis is brewing at the Belarusian border as more than 2,000 migrants struggle to survive the brutal winter when waiting to enter Poland. Children and women are among those huddling in makeshift camps in the frozen forest with little food, water, and medicines. As the Polish government continues to push them back, volunteers try to help those who manage to slip across the border.
I think that after each intervention, doesn't matter how it ends, if it ends with people left in the woods or taken to the station, you go through it and you think if you could have done more. But what we are very afraid of is that it's getting colder and colder, and there will be more and more bodies in those woods.
Poland has deployed tens of thousands of troops to guard its eastern frontier, where journalists are barely allowed access. Warsaw and its Baltic allies are considering asking the Western alliance NATO to intervene, a move that will ruffle Russia's feathers. The United States joined the European Union to accuse the Belarusian government of exploiting the migrants for political gain. Secretary of State Antony Blinken also condemned what he believes Minsk's efforts to divert attention from Moscow's military buildup on its border with Ukraine. Sarah Wong, HKIBC.
An American journalist will be allowed to leave Myanmar 3 days after receiving an 11-year jail sentence. The military junta confirmed that Danny Fenster has been released. The online magazine journalist was convicted of spreading false information, unlawful association, and visa breaches. Fenster had also been charged with sedition and terrorism, which could have landed him in prison for life. China's economy performed better than expected last month, with a growth in output and retail sales beating estimates. Industrial production in October was up 3.5% from a year ago, as electricity supplies picked up after the country was hit by energy shortages in the previous month. Retail sales jumped 4.9%, but there are fears that consumption may be hurt by curbs imposed in the wake of sporadic COVID outbreaks. Prices for new homes dropped 0.2%, the biggest month-on-month decline as restrictions to deter speculators remained in place. Hong Kong stocks closed higher for the 5th session in a row, with the Hang Seng Index edging up 0.3%. Insurer AIA climbed 2.3% after its value of new business rose in the 3rd quarter. Tech shares were mixed, with Alibaba dropping slightly, while Tencent gained 1.4%. Mainland property stocks continued to struggle amid worries about liquidity. Sanuk plunged 11.5% after it raised $7.4 billion by issuing new shares and selling a stake in its services arm. Now let's take a look at the markets. The Hang Seng Index closed up 62 points. To the top 10 active stocks, Tencent up $6.60, Sunac down $1.96, Meituan down 20 cents, and Alibaba down 90 cents. AIA up $1.95, Tracker Fund up 6 cents, BYD down $6, and JD.com up $6.20. To the forex trading against the Hong Kong dollar, the euro is trading at 8.92, British pound at 10.46, and Australian dollar at 5.74. Over in the UK market, the FTSE 100 is down 12 points. Sesame Street, the iconic U.S. Muppet Show and a longtime children's favorite, is welcoming its first Asian American star. 7-year-old Ji-young will be greeting the audience in a Sesame Street special on Thanksgiving Day. She is of Korean descent and loves playing her electric guitar and skateboarding. Executives for Sesame Workshop said the move was made following discussions on racial justice and anti-Asian attacks. Ji-young is part of an initiative the organization launched to help children understand race and culture. On to the weather now. There will be sunny periods tomorrow with temperatures between 21 and 26 degrees. Similar conditions on Wednesday before it turns cooler on Thursday. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. That's our main news for Monday night. Join us for more news at 11. I'm Johanna Chan. Good evening.